Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I am Reverend Tiffany White, Sage Woman. I am very glad to be back on the air. It has been a couple of weeks since I last had a show, and it was, changing internet providers, trying to get everything all settled, with that, and making sure that the connection would be good for the shows. So it's just a lot of tweaking and a lot of getting used to, but hey, we're there. Yay! I know, it's about time. So I apologize for the delay. I had a little bit of a time trying to get my dog back in. Had the dogs outside and they were playing, and it was like, as hot as it is, you think that they would come right back in, but no. Just have to sniff and everything. So excuse me, just trying to fix my blouse here. All right, so again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And if you're watching this show live, thank you so much for watching the show live. And even if you're watching this on a replay, again, still, I just thank you so much for taking the time to watch the show. So, I usually start off the show with the numerology of the day. And so the number for the day, and I could just tell it to you, but I like to show the people how to get the numerology. The number for the day. Sure, the day by itself, the date of just the day is a 5. That's a good vibration. But we have to look at the complete date if you want to get the full energies for this day. So August is an 8 months, so 8 plus 5 plus 7, because 2014, when you add it all down to a single digit between there's no zeros, between 1 and 9. So if you were to add the year 2014, it'd come down to 7. This is a 7 vibration year. All right, so it's very, very spiritual, very highly spiritual. So let's take a month. 8 plus 5 plus 7 is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. So the vibration of today is a 2 vibration. And 2 is a number that comes with it very little energy. You allow the events to run naturally all on its own. Today is not a day to start new undertakings, though. Don't start into new projects, and don't change directions. Don't go into something new. All right, this is a great day to just take some time off if you can. Relax. Focus on your personal life and spiritual well-being. There has to be a balance there, right? Your personal life, is it in harmony with your spiritual being? If not, today's a great day to sit down and you can write it out. What's the game plan here? How do I get my personal life in balance and harmony with my spiritual well-being? All right. So this is a very sensitive day. Your sensitivity is going to be very high, and you could have a feeling of self-consciousness that can affect you strongly today. So even though you may feel like there's a little bit of self-consciousness, and that is normal when you review your personal life, right? Even though this is a high self-confidence day, it is also a good day to be in harmony with others. So of course you want to be around people who make you feel good, who makes your soul feel good, right? So take advantage of this. It is a very energetic day. Okay. And speaking of numerology, on the True Psychics Network website, there is a magazine tab. You just click magazine, and you will see articles every day that are submitted there. Also, it lets you know about upcoming True Psychics Network radio and TV shows. And this is where you will also find Jane Alton's daily numerology post. She is the UK's #1 numerologist, quickly becoming the world's #1 numerologist. But it's okay. This whole number thing, right? #1. There's a lot of #1s. There's room at the top for everybody, so don't feel bad. We all have a mission and a unique reason for being here, right? So there's room for everyone. Absolutely. All right. And speaking about True Psychics Network shows, all right, the TV shows, and we're very pleased to announce this, the TPN TV shows are now on Roku. Roku, R-O-K-U, for those of you who aren't familiar. I wasn't familiar and actually had to go research it. Didn't know what it was. But it's like it's a great place to where those who like to stream their shows, this is like one of those type of places for streaming. The people who can't, or like in remote areas and can't get cable or satellite, can take advantage of Roku, from what I understand. So we are very happy to be a part of Be the Light's channel. They have a channel on Roku. So we can be seen on Roku now. Yay! The information more on this, and actually the links for it, can be found on the True Psychics Network, the TPN TV page. You click on that, it will direct you to Be the Light's website, I do believe, and give you some more detailed information there, because I do believe it's Be the Light Metaphysical is the name of their channel. So be sure to check that out as well. See what they have to offer as well. And so thank you, Reverend Michael Carbone, for offering to show the True Psychics Network, TPN TV, on this channel and network. So we're very, very grateful. Very grateful. And speaking of grateful and gratitude, let's all take a few moments just to take a deep breath in and just relax. Put your feet flat on the ground. And let's just kind of relax for a moment. All right? Just kind of calm down. Just release everything that's going on around us right now. And it's always great to start a day on a gratitude and positive note. I am grateful for this fresh new day. I am grateful for this fresh new day. Even if your earlier morning started off maybe not on a note that you wanted it to, there's still plenty of time to turn this day around. All right? This morning actually now is the past. Let's move on. And we can. Even if you have to fake it at first by being in a bad mood, going, oh, I'm grateful for this fresh new day. It's fine. Fake it till you make it. Or, maybe you're angry, or maybe you're crying. You're super emotional today and you're crying it out. That's fine. The thing is, just let it out. Let it out. All right? And you'll find that you may giggle and laugh at yourself, or you may go, oh, this is the reason why I'm feeling this way. Can I change it? If there's nothing that I can do to change this, I'm just going to move on. Let's just move on. And a lot of times, it's not that we should change it. It's not change a situation. It's change our attitude about a situation. Right? We all have these choices. So, I'm going to start right now, or add to it. If you've already been grateful this morning, that's great. We're going to just, I am grateful for this fresh new day. I am grateful for this fresh new moment. All right, so keep saying this throughout the day, and maybe that will help you. All right, horoscopes are coming soon. Every week, horoscopes are put out on the True Psychics Network website. And this week, I will actually be channeling them, and so look for them this evening. This morning, it came to me actually yesterday. I knew that I was going to do them, and the trees stepped forward. Went, oh, we want to do messages from the trees. So stay tuned. That's coming later this evening, and tonight is the horoscopes. It will be posted on a lot of social networks, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+. So you can find us everywhere. True Psychics Network. You can find myself there as well, all these social networks. Besides TruePsychicsNetwork.com, you can find me at my website, which is whitesagewoman.com. And that's White Sage, S-A-G-E, woman.com. All right. So, just taking a deep breath. It's one of those days where you just feel like you have to take a couple of deep breaths. Just relax. Let everything out. Let it all go. Such high energy lately, isn't it? Be gentle with yourself too if you find yourself wanting to rest. Maybe you don't feel like socializing, right? You don't feel like socializing. It's okay. Just as long as you're taking the time for you, because that is our body's way of letting us know we need to reset. Hello, we need some me time. Okay? So, all right, the crystal message for today. And each week I like to do a crystal message and a power animal message, a power spirit animal message. So we'll start with the crystal message. It's actually very, very pretty if you Google this stone. I am also going to put this in chat. For those of you who are watching the show live, you have an opportunity of participating in chat with others who are in chat, and also too, I do read the chat comments. So if there's any questions that you have, or comments, of course, place them in this chat box. So again, if you're watching this show on a replay, I still appreciate you so much for taking the time and watch this show. But I do encourage you, if you want to interact with others that are in the chat room, try to catch this live 1 p.m. on Tuesdays, and that's Eastern time. All right, so the crystal for this week is ruby ziosite. Ruby ziosite. Very, very gorgeous stone. You should Google it. See what it looks like. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. The characteristics for this beautiful crystal gemstone is it provides a stabilizing effect for passion and anger, for balance. It is a stone of creativity and helps to open up the sacred heart center, that heart chakra. So check that out. And just, it's not that you have to acquire it. Sometimes just by looking at a picture of these gemstones is powerful enough. All right? And we can feel the energy and vibration off of it. So, of course, there's some that just speak to you. And they will find their way to you. So speaking of which, you're going to, and a dear friend of mine, Jody, we're going to go to a gym show. There's one this weekend. Really big one. We're really excited about going into Mass to go be around all this beautiful energy. And then, probably adopt some more crystal babies. You know what's going to happen. Oh, and Jody owns Naked Goods here in Groton, Connecticut. So definitely going to get some gemstones for the shop as well. Because there's been a big request for that this last week. People coming in wanting loose gemstones. So we have a mission. Any excuse to buy crystals and gemstones. Yeah! Anyway. I know that's funny. Oh, come on. A lot of you can relate. All right, so the power spirit animal message, and I had to giggle when I saw this, but it was so cute, is a sloth. A sloth. Aren't they so adorable? They're so cute. All right, so, and here's the message from the sloth. Why don't you see the world from an upside down point of view? Don't be so busy looking in one direction, in a tunnel vision, so to speak, right? We do. We create this tunnel vision. Don't be so busy with this tunnel vision that we're not paying attention to every aspect of what we could be looking at. So seeing the world upside down, I also like to use the analogy of a gemstone, of a faceted gemstone, where you have to turn that gemstone around and look at it from all different angles, all different facets, because if we get fixated on one facet, that's okay, but you're missing the rest of this beautiful stone and what the stone has to offer. All right, so be sure to check out all the facets, all the channels, all the vibrations, all the energies, whatever words we want to use to understand. So, all right. And then there's a wisdom in moving slowly. So wisdom in moving slowly. There really is. Some things it's great to be spontaneous with. Other things it's good, let's just take it slow. Especially if you're not sure of an answer, or if you're not sure of a direction, just take it slow. All right? Doesn't mean stop. Anchor, throw the anchor. No, it's go slowly. All right, understanding the tree spirits. That's beautiful. Woo, love that. Of course, you have to be in complete harmony with nature and the tree. Understanding when to use tenacity. And the value of laziness. That's right, I said that. The value of laziness. There really is a value and quality in laziness, isn't there? That's what my son keeps telling me. Oh, not my son. Oh, I'm just teasing. Anyway. Again, people who are in hyper mode view going slow as laziness, right? Laziness is also misunderstood. So, very, very beautiful. And thank the crystal and the spirit animals for beautiful messages this week. And so let me just, somebody in chat was given a gift, a tiny ironwood dolphin. Oh, nice. Dolphins are always nice. Yes, all that dolphin energy. Ty agrees. He seconds that, don't you? Yay! Oh, one of my sons may be home from work. That's probably what they're barking at. Yeah, okay. But he was, agreeing as well. So the topic for today that actually started again coming to me yesterday was soulmates and past lives. I wanted to speak about past lives before, and so there's let's incorporate it in soulmates and past lives, because that's the number one, believe it or not, question that people ask about past lives is who they were in a past life with. Do you realize that? That I do some past life regression and some past life readings for people, and that's their number one question, is who they were in a past life with and the lessons from this past life experience. All right, which is very good. Yeah, it's kind of curious. Oh, let's see, who we were to, and that there's very few of us who are actually famous, and it doesn't even really matter because each role is important. The ones that had some really tragic deaths, though, won't come back. So pat yourself on the shoulder if you're watching this. You're here, alive, breathing on this earth plane at this time. You are here for a reason. You're a warrior, because more than likely you've come back a lot of times. More than 30. Especially at this time. Alright, so alright, so let me just get on with now. Alright, so, and I will go over, we will have time, because there's something else as I was channeling this information, writing it down last night and this morning, the difference between soulmate and twin flame. There's a huge difference. Twin flame is over commercialized, and we'll go over more with that later. All right. So, And this all ties in with past lives. It really does. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. Chat. They're so funny. We got comedians in there. Alright. So, a soulmate is a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity. This may involve similarity, love, romance, friendship, intimacy, sexuality, tantric, spirituality, or compatibility and extreme trust. I mean, there's just only one trust, right? Many times, but not always the case, we have had a past life with our soulmates. We may recognize them immediately and pick up right where we left off, like the time away and the time apart. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. All right? And this is true for those we had a great life with and those we didn't have a great life with. It is easy to love someone who reflects back to us the divinity that resides in us all. Divinity is supreme excellence of godlike character and divine nature. Doesn't that describe those that we love? When we are in love with someone, we only see the best of that person. It may be impossible to see or feel anything else. We tell ourselves that this person is perfect for us because she or he loves us and is lovable. And here's something, though. Let's get to the truth of the matter. Actually, we are love. Love isn't an external feeling, but an internal state of being. Soulmates are not just those that are easy for you to love and get along with. No. A soulmate will reflect back to you what you need to take care of in order to grow in your spiritual journey. Many soulmates are mirrors and powerful teachers if we embrace that is what is taking place. All right? You may be in a relationship that isn't movie material. A romantic movie material anyway. Maybe a horror, a tragedy. No, I'm kidding. All right, but you may not feel like your situation, your relationship with someone is not in the romance category. But is it bad? Are you learning the lessons that you need to learn? That's the things to really ask and reflect on. And I could tell you, the very first reaction you have in a relationship when you know that something is off is when blame is starting to, pointing fingers and blame. All right, don't do that. Are you blaming the person for an aspect of yourself that you see that you don't like? I've done it. I've been through that, so I understand. You had to get past that blame and had to be truthful with myself that it was me that I was seeing. And so, and sure, of course, we're going to bring people to us, so that you both, because as you heal yourself, you're healing the other person and vice versa, right? Should be. As a matter of fact, it's like the show that I had a couple weeks ago. I said something about my marriage isn't a romantic one, but it is one of deep spiritual transformation for me. And we are not here to find that one person and ride off in the sunset and live happily ever after. No, that's not what we're here for. Sorry. And you got to know that. And I'll tell you where that longing comes from, though, in a little bit. All right. Your soulmate may not be the most ideal person to marry and settle down with, but they are nevertheless wonderful for you to connect with. Soulmate connections can sometimes be a challenge, but always very inspiring and stimulating experience. Now, does this mean that just because everyone reevaluate their relationships, and there are times when you need, it's time to move on, right? For both parties. It's the best thing for both parties just to move on. And you got to recognize that. But be grateful for the lessons learned. And some people who recognize this is a very powerful learning lesson for me, I'm going to stick with it. All right. And there's a lot of working through. It's not just I'm going to do this, woohoo. Of course, when we're on the other side charting out our lives, it's so easy and carefree because we forget how hard it is here when we get here, and it's like, really? I signed up for this? Wow. What was I thinking? Well, we weren't thinking because we were just pure love. And we still are. We are pure love. Everything seems so much easier when you're going to write it down. And even we do that now. We make goals and game plans for ourselves that I want to do this, and it seems so easy on paper, but try to implement it, right? All right. So, there's a misconception of soulmates is that they are just one person, your soulmate, that will come into your life and make you feel so wonderful and happy like no one ever did before. Right here and now, with the age of the earth and how long humanity has resided here, all of us have many, many soulmates. I want you to stop and think about this for a moment, all right? I'm not talking about those that don't choose to come here and experience and have their experiences on the third plane. I'm talking to humanity here, Earth's humanity. Those of us who keep coming back. Let's say you've had, let's just give a number of 30 past lives. Think about your family just in one lifetime. Your family, you can go through several spouses. Then I want you to times that by how many past lives you've had on this earth plane, not including the other side, not including other multiverses you were in, because you have to understand, in one big huge universe there's many multiverses, right? So we truly are never alone, let me tell you that. First off, we're never alone. It can be a bit crowded in a spirit sense, but so we're going to come across these people, especially they are these earth warriors and they keep coming back. You're going to meet them. All right, you're going to meet them. All right. So there really isn't a such thing as this one person. Again, what you're looking for is you. When you're looking for that one, that search for the one love is actually a search for the divine part of you. Remember, a long time ago, we turned away from the light. We know now it's like a beacon. We have to turn back. That's what the search is for, the one love. When one truly reconnects to that divine spark within us, we understand that as a unique individual and soul, we are complete. We are complete. View all of creation as a huge puzzle, a huge tapestry, if you will. You, and only you, are that one unique piece of the puzzle that is greatly needed for not only your own spiritual progress, but for humanity's progress and transformation. We search for the right place to fit our puzzle piece, don't we? We look for the right group of people, or the right setting, or this doesn't feel right, I'm going to move on, this doesn't feel right, I'm going to move on. So what happens then? The surrounding puzzle pieces where we finally do feel like we fit in are our soulmates, our soul family. Ah, here we go. This is the location of the puzzle I'm supposed to be in. And sometimes we fit in very easily. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Be a little bit more spiritual work, right? So, soulmates come to us as our friends, our family members, our companions, even acquaintances. They can be people we connect with a line at the grocery store, at a gas station, a bank, work, at a gym, etc. You get the point. Even people you just meet and talk to for a minute, less than a minute, those you can say hi to. It could take seconds, minutes, hours, it doesn't matter. There's already a soul connection that's been established. And let's not forget about our animals, our pets, and nature companions too. The way we all come together is not by chance or coincidence. All right? So, oh, that's so cute. And yes, I'm reading some comments in chat. Sylvia Brown did talk a lot about this. And see the late Sylvia Brown, she's still with us. You got to understand that. Powerful spiritual teachers are always with us. All right. So, you can meditate if you're not sure on who your soulmates are, just by sitting quietly in a peaceful spot and ask your higher self, God, angels, guides, the universe, to share with you visuals in your third eye. You will see that most of these people are positive people that have brought a smile to your face. It's interesting how we do that first and foremost. The positive people. We connected with them instantly. All right. It was so easy. They make us laugh and feel good. But don't stop there. For you will also see the not so positive people that have brought powerful lessons and soul growth to you as well. So you may see a visual of someone and go, ooh, really? Them? Why? Why not? Didn't they help you? Oh, okay, well, maybe. It's something we have to work through until we can go, yeah, okay. Alright. Sometimes soulmates can come together for a short period of time, for a certain project or soul lesson. You may sometimes never see, and when I say never, because see, I'm talking about in physical human body sense. You may never see your soulmates again in this lifetime, but you will always enjoy these moments when you communicated with them in a wonderful way. We gain wisdom from them and oftentimes offer knowledge and insight to them in return that will help them along their journey as well, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful giving and receiving situation. And here's something too. Many never physically meet some of their soulmates. I have not only had feedback from others, but also experienced myself that when we are going through a really tough time and feel alone, again, that crazy, why do we isolate ourselves? But when we do feel alone, and it happens, we will dream about a person or several people that come to us for comfort. Yes, of course, I'm talking about our guides and angels and loved ones in spirit do come to us, but I'm referring to those that you don't recognize in your dreams. Well, not with your mind anyway. You kind of remember like a snippet shot and go, I don't recognize this person. But you know what? Your soul knows who they are. And they reach in to give you that comfort that you need and help remind us of our divinity. Even if it's you just remember a dream of someone being extremely nice to you, you receiving a hug. There you go. All right? It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And sometimes they don't manifest yet, or you can't see the face. You can't see the face right away. And then you start to see more and more of the person, and then guess what? A lot of times, you end up meeting this person. You are brought together. Okay. But sometimes you aren't, especially if this person is on the other side of the world. And now with technology, though, you may be able to connect with them. The other side of the world, and even though all through the dimensions. What if they're on another planet, so to speak, in another multiverse? Absolutely. You have to understand our communication with spirit doesn't stop here on the earth. No, not at all. Try to contain energy. Right? It just doesn't. You can't do it. No. All right. Soulmates are wonderful, precious gems in our life. They help color our world like a beautiful tapestry, a painting, and even, yes, that puzzle. They come into your life just when you need them. They may stay, or they may only share what is needed, and then you don't see them again. Remember, again, physical sense. For we are all energetically connected and a part of each other in the divine source. Count each and every one of our soulmates' blessings, because each part of us, each of us has that part of the divine within us. We see the divine in others. Yes, it is harder to see in some, but the divine is there regardless of their actions. You don't have to like those that appear to be negative. Just make sure you don't judge them, or judge anyone for that matter. There's a wonderful, mysterious beauty in all of us, even when we behave badly. What divinity do you see around you right now? And ask yourself this question several times a day. What divinity do I see around me right at this moment? Stop. Ask this question many times. And remember, don't exclude it just to people. What about nature and animals? And do you see God is everywhere? Do you see the God in every living being? All right. Try it. Check it out. All right. Woo. All right. So now, there's some really, really powerful soulmates too. That come together. Now, the experienced ones, once they realize what's going on, they come together and they know that they're a powerful force. And I think a mistake a lot of us makes is, and have maybe made in the past, is click, 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 click. We clicked so well that this has got to be the person I've got to be in a relationship with. Maybe a romantic relationship with. And they try the romance and it absolutely doesn't work. And in some cases it does work. It's all in the timing too, and if this is what's supposed to happen for you. Alright? But a lot of times we have some very powerful people that come together and we have a mission to do together and we get it done, right? I can tell you in the spiritual counseling that I have for couples, the biggest thing is if people understood past lives and our soulmates from a past life, it would make the understanding of what happens to us a whole lot easier. What I'm talking about too are couples that cheat. And I hate that word too, cheat. They're not cheating on the other person, they're cheating themselves, all right, first and foremost. Because there's something missing, and it's always from within. When there's something missing, it's always within you. Don't blame someone else for what's missing within you. That's your fault. Alright? Don't play the blame game. And you don't even have to, and when I say cheat, it doesn't even have to be on a sexual. It could be attention, flirtatious. It could be all of this types of thing. Sometimes you meet people and they don't understand. Why am I feeling this way? We weren't taught this. Society never told us that we would have these types of feelings. You're kind of taught or brainwashed to lead that once you get married, that's it. It's forever. It's going to be perfect. There's not going to be anybody else that's going to catch your attention, and that's not true. Especially when you meet somebody from a past life. That's very powerful, and you can start to question what's going on. And I find more and more light workers, we've all had this happen to us. We totally understand this. I can say from a personal aspect, this happened to me. It almost ripped my marriage apart. We almost didn't make it to 10 years being married, and we're 24 now. But I met somebody from a past life, and when I saw him, I knew immediately this man was going to challenge my marriage. I knew that. What I didn't understand is why. And there was a strong energy. Where the heck was that coming from? And this all happened 3 years before I really started to open back up spiritually. And that was probably a big prompt and a kick of, hey, because I wasn't understanding some of my knowing. I was getting some insight, but I wasn't understanding what I was receiving. Alright? And so I knew though too that and let me tell you, when you recognize a soul and you just know that you love them, you recognize the love. And it's not wrong to love more than one person. That is absolute brainwash to hear that crap. Sorry, but it's true. You can love more than one member of your family. Why is that you can only love one person at a time? Totally crazy. We are all love and we connect together and vibrate beautifully. No, for those, I'm not talking in a sexually physical type of orgy thing, okay? I'm not talking that, so don't even turn it that way. It's very, very high, very, very tantric, which is much higher than a physical state. All right? So, I met him. I knew somebody. I didn't understand where this love was coming from. I was like, where is this? I don't, we haven't established anything. Why am I feeling this immense love for this person? And him the same. And so, but I knew. I was like, well, I love my husband too. Well, you know what? I started this in this life, this marriage. I'm going to finish this, and was asking, whatever needs to be done. Whatever patterns need to be completed, let them be completed. Again, not really. And this was on a subconscious level. And so, ironically, we got orders to move out of state. And I had a choice. Did I want to move and continue our marriage? Or did I want to stay and explore another option? Well, of course, I was going to stay in the marriage and make it work. For me, for my husband, for our small sons at the time. I was like, no, I'm going to do this. And I don't have any regrets at all. But it was years later when I was reading, and actually Sylvia Brown helped me to locate my spiritual foundation that was buried in the desert. Dust it off. There it is. Yay. And then I saw it's actually a very powerful Jeanette Crowley in Colorado. She's with the Center of oh my goodness, I can't even think of it now, Creative Consciousness. But she came into the area years ago for some wonderful, powerful workshops. Healing the healer within, leadership type of very high spiritual workshops. Well, I had a chance to have a one-on-one. You got a chance to have a one-on-one with her, and she would channel a message. She channeled a being that hasn't lived on this earth. And no, mine is Andrew. Hers is Mark. Mark was his name. It's his name. And so this message came through about this, it was great. You made the right choices for you. And it's really interesting. I asked a question. Let me think back. Oh yes, here's the question that I asked, because they wanted to. You could ask a question. I was wondering why every time, and this is moving into Connecticut. We have this 2-story house, and we lived in a 2-story before, but it's the way the stairs are set up is a little different. We were temporarily in a 2-story house in Georgia before we moved here. And again, my husband was always at work or at sea. But I didn't notice it until coming into Connecticut and the way that our stairs are shaped. I did not like when my husband was behind me on the staircase. My sons, anyone else, it was fine. But I started to get this chill up my spine. Why? And it would make me uncomfortable. I was like, no, you go first. You go first. You go first. No, you go first. We have this little, just go down the stairs. So I asked, where's that coming from? Because it's getting stronger and stronger. And so here was my little past life reading, so to speak, the message, the channeling. You're like, this is interesting. Because you're around the time frame of this age where in a past life, you and your husband were having a discussion at the top of the stairs, and you fell to your death. There's a lot more to this. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, is it the husband now? No. Oh, okay. But they did identify who the husband was at that time. It was somebody from a past relationship that I was like, oh, that's right on it. That's why got it. That's why I dissolved that relationship. Because then I truly felt like it was the death of me. Isn't that funny? If I stayed in a relationship with this person. This is because we did get into an argument. He didn't push me. He was trying to grab my arm, and I pulled and fell. Now, here's more to this. I also found that the man that did come into my life that I couldn't understand where or loved from. And I tried to, the time frame was very, very old. It was, in that time frame, a husband could have lovers. Men could have lovers. It was okay. Women couldn't. Just stayed home and made lots of babies. And so I know I had lots of kids. All right. But I also knew I was pregnant at that time when I fell down those stairs and the baby and myself died. So the more details that came out was you had a lover yourself. You thought, being rebellious, hey, even in past lives, right? Well, if it's good for you, it's going to be good enough for me. So I went and had an affair. And guess who the person is that I had an affair with? The person that came back into my life. There wasn't closure there. And you want to know why? Because I fell down the stairs and he didn't get a chance. There was no closure. And they also didn't know until, of course, at that time frame that I was pregnant. But it all did come about. Of course, my husband tried to play it off. My husband at that time tried to play it off that it was his baby. But he knew it wasn't his. So that was the reason for the whole argument. And because I was actually wanted to leave. Do something that was very rare. I wanted to leave. So it brought all that full circle. Oh my gosh, now I understand. I so get it. By me making a choice, that was closure. Finally in this life, he got the closure that he never had. Right? Closure. And that's why patterns repeat until they get some sort of closure, until you finish them. So it was like, oh, I get it. Wow, that's really beautiful. So let me help others. How many people, extreme guilt because, oh my gosh, I felt this way about somebody else other than my spouse. I can't believe that. Oh, knock it off. Your spouse not the only spouse you've ever had. All right? So it helps us in understanding past lives to understand what's going on in our current life, in our situations. All right? And so you can definitely work through all these things. I also believe that people are very, very powerful when they come together. And sometimes, let me use this as an example. How about this? A couple of movies that I thought was very, very powerful and show like soulmates coming together, and believe it or not, and you may laugh, but if you haven't seen this movie Hancock with Will Smith, watch it. And I know I'm one of those that can watch any movie and get a spiritual meaning behind it. Alright, and for those of you who have watched that movie Hancock, alright, you understand and probably recognize that him and the female, and I think it was who was that, Charlene Theron, or I forget who the actress was in that movie, but that those two were absolute soulmates. They were so powerful that they had to stay away from each other. And the irony was, the closer they got together, the more that one wanted to be, the man didn't understand, the character that Will Smith played, he didn't understand wanting to be with her. She knew, because she remembers the past, she remembers everything, that we can't be together. And that the more they tried to, or he was trying to force to make things work, they slowly died. They were, like killing each other because they were too powerful to be together. Does it make sense? Sometimes that happens too, and that's when we have to have those beautiful people we have to keep the distance a little further. And this is why sometimes those that when we come back in an agreement, I'm going to be on one side of the world, you're going to be on the other side of the world. Okay, cool. So we do have some very powerful soulmates. There's different levels of these, like I said, these soulmates, just like there's different phylums of guides and angels, and just there's different levels. All right. So yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And it also helps you to understand too that you're gonna find more and more people that you connect with, and it's okay. We've been taught that having anything sexual, any type of feelings, is bad, and that's not, unless it's for, like I said, that's not true. I want you to Google tantric. Kind of research tantric if you don't know what I'm talking about. Tantric is all the chakras vibrating at the same time, like a tuning fork, and you're like, ah, vibrating. That's more powerful than an orgasm, than a physical orgasm. Now everybody's gonna be Googling it. Woo! Let me check this out. Go for it. You're gonna find more and more. These light workers are getting together. The vibration is very strong. It's happening. All right. Nothing bad again about that. And I have to tell you, even Sylvia Brown's book, she talks about when we're on the other side, and this is like beings do, to connect with one another, we like absorb into each other. We think that it's like sexual, all right, but it is very tantric, and it's like your best orgasm times 100. And I about fell out when I read that. I was like, wow. Really? And okay, I'll have a slice of that. Just curiosity. Sure. Research, that's it. Spiritual research. Anyway, you do meet people like that, and you let it go, and don't force anything, and it happens to you. It is very, very powerful. And so it's wonderful. It really is. Nothing to be ashamed about. Look, it's making me blush. Anyway. Woo! People are laughing. Well, there's a lot that, come on. Really, we've been suppressed. We are very powerful. We are still exploring and understanding who we are as these powerful light beings. All right. Real quick, I'm going to go over, what else did I say I was going to talk? Woo! Okay. Twin flames. Thank you. Twin flames. Thank you, guys. Yes. Twin flames. This is what I'm talking over. Twin flames. All right. Anytime I've tried to read any publications or read anything about twin flames, I'm turned off and stopped. It's like, no. When you know you're reading the truth, hearing the truth, feeling the truth, it does vibrate like that. If it vibrates, you know. All right. So, what's the purpose of a twin flame? Now, quite honestly, we have been on this earth plane, and I have to tell you, they still don't really know how old the earth is. They're wrong on the age. But earth is very, very old. Humanity on this earth plane. These earth bodies were created for us to survive on this garden. Just think about it. That's what it is. Just like we have to have, these bodies have to have spacesuits when we go out in space, right? We didn't used to have all these suits, so to speak. And our light being. These bodies couldn't handle the full force of masculine, feminine. So it split off. We divided. Masculine aspect, feminine aspect. Now, interestingly though, when we did come back, when we pushed ourselves or came into a body, so to speak, went into a human form, We still have these little tiny aspects of masculine and feminine. We still have this polarity within us. All of nature does. All right. So the twin flame is that other part of you that was pulled apart. Another movie I love to always, this is one of my favorite spiritual movies, is The Dark Crystal from the 80s. Jim Henson's Dark Crystal. Because they showed you how at one time they were all light, and then something happened. This huge crystal broke, and so when this crystal broke, it split these beautiful beings into a positive aspect and a negative aspect of themselves. And whether it's male or feminine, and who's the positive, who's the negative, who's the yin, who's the yang, that's all I'm going to say. That answers it right there. It split them in half. And you had these beautiful mystics, these beautiful people who lived in the truth and the love and the light. And you had these Skeksis, all right, who were all about greed. All right, greed and getting ahead. They split. And then they did this whole movie about, getting the shard that came off the crystal and placing it back onto, and fixing and healing this crystal, so to speak, brought these beings back together as one. So the twin flame is the other aspect of you. I have to tell you, we've been on this earth plane for a very long time. Twin flames are actually very rare. I am sorry, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But we have come back here enough and have established our own identity that if we met our twin flame, we may not even like them anymore, because we've been away from them for so long, and everyone's developed their own individuality. Okay? And also, too, what would happen is if you get near your twin flame, a lot of, and I can say a lot because this is rare, but from cases I've heard, there's maybe 10 cases. There's only really 1 or 2 that actually vibrate as true, and via my guides. All right, they make you can feel sick. One has to be sacrificial to the other one. You can't be both two individual beings and be together as one and live with your twin flame like that. All right. Those twin flames are happy apart now because we've been apart for a very long time. All right, so understand that. Twin flame is a totally different aspect that is being mismarketed, and that's exactly what's happening with it. Mismarketed. They do come back. They have came in the past to help, especially if you're on a very tough mission. Let me give you an example. A very popular example was Jesus, or Yeshua, and Mary Magdalene. They were twin flames of each other. And so Mary Magdalene most definitely put her life in servitude to whatever Jesus or Yeshua was doing, which is the same, it's all about the light. Okay? That, like I said, a rare case, and there's a couple of other rare cases too. And I can go more as to why that happened with Jesus and Yeshua, but I don't want to freak people out by saying that, Jesus and Yeshua had a past life in Atlantis. It was his first life on this earth plane, and I know I'm hearing a cry now. But that was so the time that we all remember, the biblical times, second life, is prophesized, Edgar Casey, that he's going to come back again in another life, not to come save us like the Bible says, but you wouldn't even recognize him when he came back anyway. All right, there's a lot of spiritual teachers out here. All right, so, and again, it's always still a choice. You can still choose to come or not to come back. But what a very challenging life that would be. And he's already had a couple of challenging lives. A lot of us have had challenging lives, right? Anyway, now don't mean to disrespect anyone. Anything that I say, take what you can use, leave the rest. All right? What vibrates with you, that's great. Always encourage everyone to do their own research. And when I mean research, I'm not talking about Okay, sure, you can go read other people's books and go, internet. That's fine. Always make sure you put it through that filter. You know what the filter is? Those for your highest and greatest. Guides, angels, God. Make sure, is this right for me? Is this, sometimes we need the right dialogue, we need the right language, the right words in order for us to understand and hit home. So you will be guided. You will be guided to the right resources. All right, and just trust that. So, you see, okay. Oh, time has. Woohoo! Time went away. Oh, and by the way, I'm not against at all. Please don't think that. I love Yeshua. And that's how I know him. Is I love Jesus and Yeshua, and I have great communication with him. I always have as a child, and absolutely, he is very powerful. All right, like I said, one of the many spiritual teachers we've had, though. All right, so, all right. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day and to sit in Sacred Circle with me this past hour. Thank you so much. I am very, very grateful. And be sure to check out the rest of the wonderful shows that True Psychics Network has to offer. You can check this out on the TruePsychicsNetwork.com website, on the radio tab and TP and TV tab. All right, so a lot of wonderful shows for the rest of the week. And so thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or you would like to suggest some topics for shows, and this is whether you're watching live or whether you are watching on a recording, please be sure to visit my website, whitesagewoman.com, and send me an email through my website. Or you can just email me directly, Tiffany@whitesagewoman.com, with any other show ideas or topics you would like to have discussed. So thank you so much. Much love for each and every one of you. Namaste.